back to the David67 Celtic News YouTube channel. Today, Sunday, the 17th of September. Today, going to do a wee quick reaction video review of the Dundee match yesterday. A very convincing, comfortable 3-0 win for Celtic. Also, a wee quick run through of which players I thought impressed, any players that are causing any concern, and looking forward a little to the Feyenoord match on Tuesday. Before we get going, please like and subscribe. Completely free to click the like and subscribe buttons. Hovering around the 100 subscriber mark at the moment. And so it would be wonderful to be up to 100 by the time of the first Champions League fixture next Tuesday. So I thought Celtic did everything they needed to do yesterday. Comfortable 3-0 win, a lot more confident, a lot more teamwork, a lot better connected, quite a lot more pace. I liked also that Alistair Johnston got forward so much into the final third, both in a creative sense to set up others, but also 2 times he came very close to his second Celtic goal, hitting the woodwork on 2 occasions. Greg Taylor seemed a bit less able to get forward, but I think he did perfectly fine. I was, to be honest, a little bit surprised that Rodgers went with Phillips and Scales in central defence. And I did feel that Celtic did look a little bit more shaky in the first half when Phillips was playing. He seems to have gone off at half-time as a precaution due to an ankle knock. And Lagerbielke came on second half. Thought Lagerbielke had a good second half. I thought Celtic looked a wee bit more comfortable in defence second half. Dundee were overall a bit less of a threat in the second half. Joe Hart made a couple of good saves in the first half that kept Celtic at 0-0. Celtic had plenty of chances in the first half. Dyson Maeda was especially impressive, having a goal disallowed, a couple of close calls. Also, Yang and O'Reilly went quite close also. But 0-0 at half-time. But Celtic very clearly the much more dominant team. Second half started well. Again, Celtic on the front foot, attacking. In around about 50 minutes, we got our first goal. Obvious penalty when David Turnbull was taken down on the edge of the box. Initially, the referee gave it as a free kick outside the box, but VAR happily corrected that to a penalty kick. David Turnbull very confidently scored the penalty, but otherwise I was actually rather disappointed in David Turnbull's performance yet again. If only we could maybe just bring him on for penalty kicks and put him back off after the penalty kicks been taken, a bit like in American football with your punter and your kicker doing nothing else apart from punt and kick. If we were able to use David Turnbull in a penalty kick role only, I think he would have an awful lot to contribute to Celtic. I would hope, given the fact that Celtic were quite transformed in the last half hour when Rio Hatate came on, that Hatate starts against Feyenoord on Tuesday and we keep Turnbull for the bench. I thought Celtic's performance in the last half hour was considerably better. I think the combination of McGregor and Hatate in midfield with O'Reilly a little bit further forward worked really well. O'Reilly doesn't seem quite so able to support McGregor in McGregor's deeper role. However, I think Hatate and McGregor share the role of distribution and breaking up play and starting attacks far better when they play together. And I think Hatate working alongside him takes some of the pressure and workload off of McGregor. And so I really hope that we use that combination on Tuesday. Promising starts also for our newer players, Luis Palma and Palma and Bernardo, who came on towards the end of the game. I thought they both showed nice touches. I think they are both going to contribute considerably for Celtic over the next few months. Yang showed some good touches down the right-hand side. Not as impressive as Maeda on the left. And I think overall Maeda was one of Celtic's best players on the day. Question is whether on Tuesday we go again with Yang down the right and Maeda down the left, or whether, which I would tend to favour, we bring in Luis Palma. Luis Palma can play down the right, can play down the left, as is also the case with Maeda. And so I think with Luis Palma out wide on one side or the other, with his ability to cut into the box to score and also to set up other chances, I think we would be better to use Luis Palma and Maeda as our wide two with Kyogo through the middle. Kyogo had a typical Kyogo performance. Lovely second goal. Very clever interchange with Matt O'Reilly to score the third goal. Lots of good movement. And lots of good touches in and around the box, bringing together the team, allowing the midfielders and wide players to get into the box to support him. And I thought Kyogo was also one of our better players on the day. Slight injury scare with Kyogo going off briefly for treatment for his shoulder in the first half, but that seemed to be a very temporary thing, and there doesn't appear to be any concern for him playing on Tuesday. Personally, the only player I thought underperformed really yesterday was David Turnbull. Wasn't quite as impressed with Phillips as I was with Lagerbielke, but I think they're both fundamentally good players, and I would be inclined in the longer term, until CCV is back fully fit, to go with Lagerbielke and Phillips as our starting two central defenders, with Scales as the backup. Although Scales has played really well in both the Rangers match and played fine yesterday, I think Lagerbielke and Phillips are both more talented, more skillful players, and I think they both will cope better at the European level based on their past experience playing in Europe, and also Lagerbielke's international experience also. Thus, moving on, I think Celtic can go into next week's Champions League fixture full of confidence. We seem to have got through this match unscathed in terms of new injuries. I think the 30 minutes Hatate had yesterday will serve him in great order for playing on Tuesday, and I think also it does give Rodgers a couple of options on the right and a couple of options on the left in terms of our wide players, and also which I also think is important, Bernardo, Luis Palma all got some time on the pitch, which will help us on Tuesday against Feyenoord also. One other brief story to talk about today is that Celtic's women's side will be in action again this afternoon, this time playing Aberdeen, which will be live on BBC Alba for those who care to watch it. I would expect Celtic to have a comfortable win, as Aberdeen are not a particularly strong side in the Women's Premier League in Scotland. There may well be a degree of fatigue carried over from the intense fixture list of the two Champions League qualifiers last week, and then the rather draining 3-2 win against Hearts in horrendous torrential rain conditions on Wednesday. Not clear whether our star striker Amy Gallagher will be back fully fit following her head injury and concussion, but I would expect Kit Lefarsky to be fully back to her fitness levels and to her speed, and to be able to contribute more in attack. However, Celtic do have quite a number of players who can substitute for Gallagher and Lefarsky, and the team is actually very flexible in terms of positions. So tomorrow we'll have a wee update on the Celtic women's result, and we will start to analyse things and preview things more for our first Champions League fixture against Feyenoord, with also a quick review of their most recent Eredivisie game, and update on their apparent striker crisis and also injury crisis. So for today, please remember to like and subscribe. Do have a wee go at the Celtic trivia question in the community section. And for now, goodbye and hail, hail.